Do you want to feel better, have more energy, and be your best and healthiest self? We want the same for you, and that's why your friends at the Total You Show are connecting with top industry experts to deliver the best information to you right where you are. Please welcome your host from the Total You Show.
Hi everybody, it's Linda Bailey with the Total You Show. This is Season 3 and Episode 1 of a series that we're doing on women's health. And today we're going to talk about a topic that really we should have been addressing for quite a while, and it might be a new concept for some of you, but it's self-care. And what do I mean by self-care? So how would you answer that question? I think if I took a poll, there'd be many different answers to that one. But the bottom line, it's anything personal and unique that can change from one day to the next. So let's look at some examples. It could be ordering dinner so you don't have to cook and then clean up and you have more time to do something else that evening. Or taking a walk with a friend, taking a warm bath, sipping a glass of wine. You know, whatever that looks like for you, it can be anything that helps you care for yourself in its most basic form. So again, just doing something nice for yourself, like the examples that we just mentioned. Did you know taking care of yourself involves all aspects of your life? That could mean setting boundaries, saying no, being honest about your feelings, asking questions, getting help from someone at work. As you can see, it involves not just your personal life, but your professional life as well. So if I ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you do the best self-care that you know of, where would you rank yourself? And be honest, this might be the first time you've thought about self-care and how important it really is. But you need to know where you are on this scale in order to determine where it is that you want to be. But before you determine where you want to go, it might be helpful to know some reasons why you should care about self-care. So first, if you don't like to take care of yourself, then you can't really do life well. Plain and simple. And taking care of yourself involves caring for body, mind, and soul. And I understand there might be a learning curve to this because you may be like a lot of us where we have people to take care of, whether it be kids, maybe it's parents, whatever it is, we tend to put ourselves behind everybody else. But I'm here to challenge you. When we get burned out, stressed, it shows. If you never get a break, you become imbalanced. Then you aren't giving your all to any part of your life. So let me ask you a question. Whatever ways we give of ourselves, whether it be taking care of kids, driving parents to appointments, what if those people got the best version of you? Isn't it important to give that to them? I mean, that's really what we want, right? Is to give them the best. So think about it. If your kids, your spouse, your coworkers all got the version of you that is the least stressed, most present, kind, patient, wouldn't that be the best thing that you could do for them and you? Good self-care means giving the best of you to others. Now, no one needs to have more to-dos, right? We all have to go work out. You need to think of self-care as getting what you need to revitalize yourself. But think of taking a small step forward. Don't look at the whole big picture and just, get overwhelmed. Break it down into chunks. So, that scale that we talked about just a few minutes ago? If you were a 3 on that scale, what's one thing you could do to move that one notch higher? So, you need to do the best you can and take care of yourself and just focus on that one small thing you can do today or for the next week, actually. And throughout the week, that will help you take care of yourself. Then after about a week, once that's become a little bit ingrained and you're used to thinking in this new way, you may be able to do one more thing that would move you one more notch higher on the scale. So again, it doesn't have to be anything perfect. Just think of moving that one more step to get what you need to take care of yourself. And remember, you're worth it. Don't just run on anxiety, fear, adrenaline. You can manage better by taking care of yourself. So one more thought I'll leave with you is the way you relate to yourself is mirrored with those relationships with others. If we want supportive relationships, we have to be the first this way with ourselves. So think about what support you might need today and start taking a step towards a better and less stressed you. So while you're working on taking care of yourself, you may find it's hard to totally turn off and focus on you. So if that's the case, think about what the biggest thing is that overwhelms you. We all have a lot of stress right now, and this atmosphere of COVID really doesn't help much. But think about what is your biggest one thing that overwhelms you in the whole sea of things. Is it organization? Is it worrying about COVID, keeping everyone safe while making sure the whole family gets along? Is it working all day and then coming home to kids that you have to cook dinner for and then help do homework with? Or is it finances? Maybe you've lost your job or your spouse and you're wondering what's in store for the future. There's a lot of things today that can stress us out. And that's even more reason why we need to take even just a few minutes and do something nice for yourself. So self-care is just really important. That is the point that I want to drive home more than anything else. So take a minute, pause, and assess what's stressing you out. Did you know the way you perceive something determines how the situation will affect you? So try to step back, even in the heat of things. I know it's hard, but step back and try to see the situation from a different angle. Try to take it less seriously. Remember the saying, "This too shall pass"? This situation will have an expiration date. So another thing you can do is take slow, deep breaths. So I'm going to teach you a technique, and some of you may have heard of this before, but the first thing you do is breathe in for a count of 5 through your nose. Hold your breath for a count of 5. And then exhale for a count of 7. So if you do this for 2 minutes, you'll feel more relaxed and calm. So just try it. It can really regulate your energy level and soothe your mind. Another thing you can do is look at breaking up your overwhelming thing into small steps. So again, instead of focusing on that whole staircase, take it one step at a time. Dwelling on all of it at one time is just too much. When that happens, you can think, okay, what's the next step that's most important to take? If you take it in small steps, things are much more manageable. So just look at the one next thing that you can do and then do the next thing. So pretty soon, you'll be much closer to taking care of the thing that is so overwhelming. And that would feel great, right? So another trick I'm going to start implementing myself is to block schedule. And what I mean by that, if those of you who just don't seem to have enough time, this technique might help. But first, block out times to handle one thing at a time. And treat that time as sacred. So see how much time it might take to do that particular thing, and block it out. Put it on the calendar. Really resist giving up that time and really try to honor it. And if you have people at home that may distract you, or even coworkers that may distract you from what you need to do, get their buy-in. Kids even understand when you explain to them that your time block and why it's important that you focus on that task during that time block. After that, it can be their time. Ask them for their support and basically to not interrupt you during that time. Just prepare them for this new system that you're starting, and I think it might help, again, with those that have time issues. Lastly, you can create an environment so you can focus. So shut everything else down. Get rid of the cell phone, put it on silent. Make sure your computers, if you have to be on it, just take off all those distractions and really create an environment where you have as little distraction as possible. You can get on YouTube as well and Google music to help put you in a relaxed state. Sometimes I actually get on and I always look up deep focus for concentration and studying. It just helps me, but just try these things out. You might be surprised, block scheduling and the quality of your relationships may go up because you'll be very present in everything else you do. If you can be present and not have to worry about that which overwhelms you, that will take you a long way and maybe motivate you to continue doing something to break down the big thing that overwhelms you into smaller steps. So just try it. Keep it simple, and then when that thing gets going, you can add something else. So just build slowly. Again, you're just looking to do one thing at a time. So keep in mind, you don't have to be perfect. Give yourself the grace to try this, and you are right where you need to be on your journey. This is about taking things, again, one step at a time, and it's okay to stumble. That's going to happen, so expect it. It's all part of your journey. One last thing, please try not to compare yourself with others. We're all overwhelmed. We're all stressed right now. But, even though we all have things going on, none of us are perfect. Even though the grass seems greener on the other side, if you think someone has it all together, just change your mindset. What you could do is actually celebrate that person doing well. And when you get through your situation, you can celebrate you. So these are just some helpful hints to try to get over the state of overwhelm, so that maybe you can put yourself first. Try some of these self-care techniques. It's really important. And you may find just implementing these few techniques can help out. That's the biggest thing we want, right? So that's it for this episode. Stay tuned every Tuesday, 8 p.m. for another episode. And again, we are focused right now on women's health issues. So if you have a comment about something else that you'd like to hear more about, message us back and we'll try to get that on. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye, everybody.
That's all for this episode of The Total You Show. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, podcast, follow us on social media, and tune in to next week's episode. Helping you achieve the healthiest version of you, that's Total You.